No matter how much you've tried to move on, something always brings this person back to your thoughts. You feel their absence in every detail, in every moment of silence, in every memory that refuses to disappear. And now? Are you going to keep pretending you've moved on? Or are you going to face this truth once and for all? No matter how much you've tried to convince yourself that it was for the best, that moving on was the only choice. You repeated this to yourself so many times that you began to believe it. But in the silence of the night, when no one is watching, when you don't need to prove anything to anyone, the truth stares at you mercilessly. You still miss them. Every little thing reminds you. A song that plays out of nowhere, a familiar smell in the middle of the street, someone with the same way of speaking. You pretend not to notice that it's over, but deep down, something squeezes. Because deep down, you know, it's not over for you. You can continue ignoring it, living your life, pretending everything is fine. But until when? How many more times are you going to wake up in the middle of the night missing that voice? How many times will you pick up your phone and freeze on the screen without the courage to send a message, but also unable to delete the conversation? If you've moved on, why do you still feel this emptiness? Why does this longing insist on accompanying you? The truth is that you never left this story behind. You just pushed it into a corner of your mind, trying to bury it under new routines, new people, new distractions. But real emotions don't fade like that. You can suffocate, hide, disguise, but never destroy. And now what are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep fooling yourself, pretending it's over? Or are you going to face this longing head-on? Because like it or not, it won't go away on its own. Maybe you think it's already too late, that there's no going back now. That person has moved on and doesn't feel the same anymore. But how can you be so sure? What if on the other side, someone is feeling exactly the same? If this absence that torments you is also weighing heavily on her chest? If every memory, every detail, every moment of longing is a reflection of what that person is also trying to hide? The question that must be asked is, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for time to do the work for you? For the longing to simply disappear one day? For everything to suddenly resolve itself without you having to lift a finger? Or are you waiting for an excuse to act? Because the truth is you have this choice now. You can continue being trapped in this feeling of lack, this disguised regret. Or you can do something different. But if you decide to ignore it, if you decide to keep pretending you don't feel anything, be ready to carry this weight for as long as necessary. Because what isn't resolved doesn't disappear, it only accumulates. So what's it going to be? Are you going to continue living with this longing, or are you going to do something about it? If you choose to carry this longing, be prepared, because it won't leave you alone. It will be there in moments when you least expect it, invading your mind like an insistent echo. It will be present on good days, reminding you how it would be if that person were still there to share all of it with you. And it will be even crueler on bad days, when all you want is to hear that voice, feel that hug, know that someone truly understood you. You can try to move on, meet other people, fill your days with work, responsibilities, distractions, but none of these things will fill the space that person left. Because what you had was not just anything. And when something is real, when something truly matters, it simply doesn't disappear. So be honest with yourself. Is this what you want? Do you want to spend the rest of your life pretending that this longing doesn't exist? Do you want to live with this doubt, with this constant regret? Do you want to look back years later and ask yourself, what if? Because that question is going to haunt you. Every time you see a couple laughing together on the street, every time you hear a song you both used to listen to, every time something reminds you of what you had and what could have been. Is pride worth all this? Is the fear of trying one more time worth this weight you carry? Maybe you're right in thinking that things have changed. That person might not feel the same anymore. But isn't it worth at least finding out? You've already spent too much time pretending you don't feel anything. But what if there's still something left to live? What if what you had hasn't really ended? Time doesn't come back. Opportunities don't wait. What you don't resolve today may become your greatest pain tomorrow. So once again I ask you, what are you going to do with this longing that won't leave you alone? You can ignore this question, push it aside for later, convince yourself that it's still not the right time. But is it really? How many times have you already told yourself that? Time passes. Chances slip away. Unfinished stories turn into regrets too heavy to carry. And what if it's too late when you finally decide to act? What if the moment you gather courage, everything has already changed, and you realize you missed what could have been the best chapter of your life? Think about it, really. Because maybe on the other side, someone is waiting. Someone who has already wanted to reach out to you, who has written and erased messages, who has rehearsed what to say but backed out at the last second, afraid of your response. Someone who feels exactly what you feel. But what if that person gives up before you decide to act? What if the silence is interpreted as a final goodbye? Can you bear living with this doubt? Can you accept this possibility without even trying? If the answer is yes, then move forward, but be ready to deal with the consequences. Be ready to carry this absence for as long as it takes. Be ready to remember it in the moments you least expect. Be ready to pass by the places you used to go and feel that pang in your chest, because now only memories remain. Because, like it or not, some people are irreplaceable. You may meet others, you may even try to get involved, but no one will ever be her. So, what are you going to do about it? Will you keep waiting for time to take this longing away? Will you keep pretending that you've already forgotten? Or will you take action before it's too late? If you're still here reading every word, then you know the truth. This longing will not go away on its own. You can distract yourself, deceive yourself, occupy your mind with other things, but at the end of the day, when night falls and silence dominates, it comes back in full force. It's there, hidden in the details. In the number you haven't had the courage to delete. In the name you avoid searching for, but that still makes you stop for a second when it appears by chance. In the impulse to send a message and the cowardice of not sending it. And the worst part is knowing that while you hesitate, while you cling to fear, doubt, pride, time is passing. Time waits for no one. It doesn't care about your fears, your uncertainties. It simply moves forward, dragging everything with it. And one day you may look back and realize that this longing has turned into regret, that someone got tired of waiting, that they decided to move on without looking back. And then, what are you going to do? Will you knock on the door when it's already closed? Will you search when it's already too late? Will you live with the weight of knowing you could have done something but didn't? Because life doesn't pause. Stories don't stay open-ended forever. What is unresolved becomes memory. What is unlived becomes regret. And now, the choice is yours. Do you want to carry this longing forever, or will you do something about it before it's too late? If you haven't decided yet, time is deciding for you. Because every day that passes without your action is another day for this story to be lost, another day for this person to learn to live without you, another day for them to understand that your absence is definitive, that silence means the end. You can continue pretending that everything is fine. You can move forward as if nothing is wrong. But deep down you know everything is not fine. If it were, this longing wouldn't consume you. If it were, you wouldn't feel this emptiness. And maybe the question is no longer, what do you feel? Because that answer is already clear. The real question is, why haven't you done anything yet, afraid of hearing that it's too late? Afraid of being rejected? Afraid of stirring something that was left unresolved? But what about the fear of not trying and regretting it later? The fear of one day seeing this person being happy with someone who had the courage to do what you didn't? The fear of knowing you lost something that could have been yours because you hesitated for too long? Can you bear carrying that fear? Because this chance may not be available forever. You could be missing the last moments to change this story. So, are you going to leave it for later again? Are you going to cling to pride, fear, doubt? Or are you going to make a decision before time makes it for you? If you've come this far, then you need to face the truth. There are no more excuses. You can continue hoping that time will heal this longing, but you know very well that this isn't happening. If it were, you wouldn't be here, feeling this tightness, carrying this absence as an impossible weight to ignore. Time does not heal what was real. It only teaches you to live with the absence. Is that what you want, to get used to the absence of someone who could still be by your side? Because every minute you spend without acting, that person is learning to live without you. You think you have time, but what if you don't? What if they are waiting for you to take action and, tired of uncertainty, decide that they need to move on. And if, when you finally muster the courage, they're already gone for good, can you handle that possibility? Can you look back and realize you lost because you did nothing? Because that's what's about to happen. And there are no excuses. It doesn't help to say you don't know what to do, that you don't know if you should reach out. You know. You feel it. So, what's it going to be? Will you keep pretending you've moved on? Will you accept living with this longing that haunts you? Or will you do what needs to be done before it's too late? If you're still here, if every word captures you, it's because the answer is already inside you. You don't want to lose this person. You know that. You always have. But you continue to wait, waiting for a sign, for a perfect moment, for something to make this decision easier. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect moment. The time you're waiting for might be exactly the time that separates you from a point of no return, because while you hesitate, that person is also living, also feeling, and might be giving up. You might think you still have time. But the truth? Time makes no promises. Time takes. And if you don't do anything now, tomorrow might be too late. You could wake up and find that this person has really moved on, that they learned to live without you, that they found another story to live because your delay forced them to move on. And at that moment, you will no longer have a choice. You won't be able to go back. You won't be able to fix what you let slip. You won't be able to recover what you lost. So what are you going to do with this? Are you going to keep waiting, risking everything? Are you going to accept the risk that when you finally decide to act, everything might have already changed? Or are you going to do something now? Now, before you no longer have the chance to try? If you are still delaying, still caught in this cycle of doubts, I need to ask you, until when? Until when will you hide behind fear? Until when will you pretend that this longing isn't destroying you? Until when will you let time decide for you? Because time doesn't wait. Time doesn't forgive. Time doesn't go back. And what you don't resolve today can become the greatest pain of your life tomorrow. You think this person will always be there, that there will always be an opportunity to go back. But what if there isn't? What if, at the moment you finally decide to act, they are already gone for good? Can you handle that possibility? Can you watch this person move on while you stay behind, trapped in an eternal what if? Can you carry this regret in your heart for the rest of your life? Because this is the choice before you now. It's not about pride, it's not about fear. It's about losing something that can still be yours. It's about letting go of someone who might still want to stay. But if you do nothing, if you just keep waiting, this story will end without your final say. So, are you going to accept that? Are you going to let this longing defeat you? Or will you take action before it's too late? If you stay still, this longing will turn into regret. And regret is a much heavier burden than any fear you feel now. It won't let you sleep, won't allow you to forget, won't give you peace. It whispers at the most unexpected moments, reminding you of what you didn't do. Can you live with that? Because in a while, when that person is already far away, when their life has taken a different course from what it could have been, you might ask yourself, what if I had tried? But by then, there won't be an answer. The silence you choose to maintain today may be the same one that will haunt you tomorrow. So stop fooling yourself. Stop thinking you have all the time in the world. If this person still matters to you, if this longing still screams in your chest, do something now. Now, not later. Time will not give you a second chance. It will only show you later on what you lost by not trying. So I ask you again, what are you going to do about it? Will you carry this longing forever, or will you act before it's too late? The choice is yours. Will you act or live with this longing forever? Comment if you have gone through this, subscribe for more reflections, and leave a like if this message touched you.